Hey, Happy New Year to you all. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, glad you're back. On today's video, we're going to talk about a trip that I have promised you all that I will be announcing. And it being the new year, we're just 2 months away from that trip. I think it's time. Also going to be pulling the front forks on my electric glide that have been peeling. Not sure if you can see it. I know I showed it in another video, but you can see right there, you can see the copper, brass, whatever it is. I think it's brass underneath the chrome. I have to pull the forks off and send those back to California, and they have to get there before Friday. Not Friday, I think it's Thursday even. And today is Sunday. So I got my work cut out. I'm gonna have to overnight them. I'm not very happy about that situation. You know, you spend 600 bucks on these fork legs and the chrome peels on them. The guys give me the runaround. Anyhow, let's see how it turns out. I don't want to kill anybody, you know, yet. So anyhow, let's get to the intro. Okay, so let's get to it. What's the big announcement? What's the big trip? What's the big idea? What's the big deal? The big deal is on February 28th. Right now there's 3 of us, possibly 4. A little unlikely there'll be 5 of us. But as of right now, there's one iffy. There's one that says he's going. He just needs to take the next step. And then there's 3 of us that are confirmed. Why are we confirmed? Because we have plane tickets and we have bike rentals paid in full at this point. So that is another reason why I did not want to make the announcement, because I had to, you know, it's the holidays, you're spending a lot of money, and I had to rent the bike, which was a hefty amount, okay? But I just did that, I believe it was Thursday of last week. Yeah, I believe it was Thursday of last week. Today is Sunday, and Thursday, which was about December 28, 29, something like that. There's a group, I'll call it. There's a company. It's called Ride Share or Riders Share. I'll add the link to the description. And basically anywhere in the United States you can rent a motorcycle from an individual, and you can rent your motorcycle to other people. There is a process. It's not cheap, but it's cheaper than renting from, let's say, Eagle Rider. I looked at other national motorcycle rental companies, and these people are by far less expensive. Now, it is used bikes. You know, I rented a KTM 1090. I believe it's a 2018. I had to rent the saddlebags. They are the Wolf saddlebags. I had to rent those from the individual separate, as well as the GPS. So, you know, those are little add-ons that they're able to make more money. Now, it wasn't a whole lot of extra money. It was $5 a day for each of those items. So 5 for the GPS, 5 for the bags, which is not a bad deal when you look at it. We're gonna be there 8 days. So where is it that I'm going? I haven't told you. We're going to California. For those of you who follow me, maybe you know that we go to Daytona Beach Bike Week every year, and we have been doing so since 2007, which was my first time actually taking a motorcycle down there, because we have family down there. We have family in the little bit south of Cocoa Beach. Most people know Cocoa Beach, Cape Canaveral. It's actually Melbourne. These are on the East Coast, right off of 95. It's actually a small town called Palm Bay. My daughter lives in Orlando. Palm Bay, my sister lives, and all of her adult children. So we go every year and we ride. It's usually a minimum of 3, a maximum of, I think, 6 is what we've had. We always rent the house in Key West. Last year we did so. I have videos of I think there's 3 videos of our trip last year, going to Florida and just riding. We ride the state. We go to Daytona like one day, but we ride the state. We rent the house in the Keys, and we have a great time. You know, it's summertime down there while it's still freezing in the north. We tow our bikes because you never know if it's going to be snowing when you come back. So this year in late August, you know, I was thinking, because we have to rent the house that we rent in the Keys. We usually do that late September, early October, if you want to, you know, have a good choice of the selections, because they go quick. They're not cheap, but between 6 guys, it works out. It's not that expensive. It's just a little bit cheaper than being in a hotel. So and you have the whole house, you know, the bikes are secure. I mean, it's really cool. You get a grill. Last year we had a swimming pool at the house. We were right on the ocean, on the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, literally, you walk out the house, you know, you walk out some feet and you can jump in the ocean. Palm trees in front of the house. Beautiful, beautiful. So this year, I was thinking in August, and I'm like, you know what? I've done that so many times. We've rented houses in the Keys so many times. It's a beautiful trip. If you've never done it, I really suggest that you take that ride. I recommend it to you all. Riding through Florida and the Keys is an experience. The food, we love Latin cuisine. There's a few restaurants. There is one restaurant in Miami that we always go to, and there's one in Key West that we always go to, Cuban restaurants. So we're kind of regulars there at this point. But I was thinking, I'm like, you know, I want to do something different. So I call the guys. I said, hey, we got to have a meeting. And I get all the guys on the phone. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to Florida this year. I'm not going to Bike Week. And they were like, really? They're kind of bummed out. But I told them right away, I said, my plan is to go to California. I already had looked into the bike rental situation, and I knew we could make it happen for a few, you know, a few more dollars than we spend when we go to Florida. I said, I want to go to California and ride. And everybody immediately was on board. I don't think they thought about it twice. They're like, yeah, I want to do that too. Yeah, let's do that. So, what is the plan? What are we doing? Like I said, we're flying out February 28th in the evening hour. So, about 6 p.m. We'll get to San Francisco at midnight. We'll go straight to our hotel, eat, go to bed, whatever. Get up the next day, which is a Wednesday, which is March 1st. Pick up our bikes. My bike is 25 minutes away from the airport area. Our hotel we're planning on renting near the hotel, near the airport. And my brother's bike, so my bike is literally in San Francisco. So from where I'm at the airport, travel north, and that'll take me straight into San Francisco. On the other hand, my brother's bike is on the west side, which is near Monterey. So he has to go. There's some mountains in between us and the west side, so he has to go around the mountains and to pick up his bike. His bike is 20 minutes away. My nephew's bike is, I think it's Fairmont, which is near Oakland. I'm not sure if you guys know the mapping of this. I've been looking at California maps for a while now. I think I'm pretty familiar with everything. I wasn't that familiar before, but so pick up our bikes. That's Wednesday. Spend the day in San Francisco getting ready, eating good food, seeing some sights, and getting ready is the idea, because we're going to be traveling. Once we get on those bikes and leave San Francisco, we're going to be on those bikes for 7 days. So day 2 of having the motorcycles, we're going to hit Big Sur. And I don't know if you know about Big Sur, but Big Sur, I've told a few people that we're taking this trip, and when I tell them that we're going, people that know California have asked, are you doing the Pacific Coast Highway? Are you going to Big Sur? And when I respond yes, they are like, that is the most spectacular views, the most spectacular ride is that ride. So we're going to be taking that ride, and that's south from San Francisco. We take it south, and south of San Francisco is Santa Barbara, which is, Santa Barbara is just north of Los Angeles. So we plan on either staying in Santa Barbara if we get there late, and if we get there a little bit early, we may just keep rolling and go right into Los Angeles and get a room there. But while riding the Pacific Coast Highway, there are some dirt roads that we can get off the main highway. And to give you an idea, as we're riding south, the cliffs and the Pacific Ocean are to our right. To our left are mountains. And there are some dirt roads up on those mountains, which we are renting adventure type bikes, dual sport type bikes, enduro bikes. Okay, so on-road, off-road, and a little bit more on why in a second. So there's a place or two where we're going to get off the main road and hit some dirt roads so we can see actually the Pacific Coast Highway from the top of those mountains, as well as the Pacific Ocean. So there is a lot to do. For those of you that don't know, the Pacific Coast Highway is not commercialized. It is nature rules in that part of California. They do not want it to be commercialized. So you have to plan your gas stops. I think the longest route without gas is 40 miles. That's significant. You know, in the United States, right? So we have to plan our stops. There's a lot to see and do, but it's all nature kind of stuff. Just like I said, it's not commercialized. There is a restaurant somewhere along the way. I would say not quite halfway, but maybe 2 hours into the ride heading south. You know, there's so many things we're going to do on this ride. I'm just stuck on day 2 here. So I'm going to try to speed it up for you guys. Day 3, we're going to be in Los Angeles, just riding around, looking at different sites, taking pictures, eating some good food. You know, we're going to pick certain things that everybody wants to see in Los Angeles. Me, I'm a gearhead. I want to see cars and motorcycles. And as many of you probably know, California is Mecca for cars and motorcycles. So I have some places we'll be visiting. Hopefully, I hope that we can see, because it is Friday, that we can see the lowriders in action over in the Whittier Boulevard area. That is kind of that's East LA. So other than that, so the next day we're going to be heading out into the Mojave Desert, and that's where the dual sport, the enduro bikes come in. We're gonna be going off-road and just going into the desert and seeing some beautiful scenery and really cool stuff. You're gonna have to watch the videos. You know, I tell you, my touring videos are the least viewed videos. My most viewed videos are of me repairing or gear reviews. So me fixing stuff, maintenance type stuff, or gear reviews. You know, I take these what I'll call elaborate trips. You know, I go into New York City. I live in Virginia Beach. That's 6 hours away. I take you guys into New York City. I take you into Brooklyn, into Manhattan. Nobody watches those videos. You know, I go into the Blue Ridge Mountains. Nobody watches those videos. Cape Hatteras. I mean, I go to some nice places. What are the benefits of me doing those trips and showing it to you guys? You guys can figure out, hey, I would like to go there, or you know what? It really doesn't do it for me. You know, I know a lot of people don't like city driving. But if you watch my video, you'll see that I did it at night, so traffic wasn't that terrible. I did hit some traffic because there was some construction going on the BQE. Had I paid attention to my my maps on my phone, I could have went around. But nevertheless, I wasn't crying. I enjoyed it. I love New York. Anyhow, Blue Ridge Mountains. There's a few other places I've been to. Well, the Florida, you know, the Keys. I went through the Keys. I went to Daytona. Those videos, people don't really watch them, but you have to watch my California trip one. So we'll be going out into the desert. We plan on going into Death Valley. I don't know if you guys know, but last year, Death Valley, I think it was in late July, they had a terrible flood that washed away a lot of roads. And some of those roads are still closed. I was just looking at a map yesterday, and it says that the road, this one road that takes you to Titus Canyon, is closed until late February. We're gonna be there in March, so hopefully that will, you know, it'll be open so we can. There is another way around, but it's really long to get to it. Now, Titus Canyon is one of my #1 top of the list places where I want to go. Don't forget, guys, I have 2 drones that I'm taking with me. I have like 4 cameras. The other guys, they're gonna be videoing as well, so they're gonna have cameras, and you're gonna get different perspectives. It's not gonna be just mine. Hopefully, we're gonna ride out into Arizona, into some of those old mine towns. This is an epic trip. Then, once we do the desert thing, that's a 2-day event. We're gonna head back into Los Angeles to rest up, and then start taking the slow boat to San Francisco, where again we'll have half a day. We're turning the bikes back in on the last day at about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so that we can, you know, have the bikes in the daytime to do whatever, because our flights are very late at night. We're taking the red eye out of San Francisco, and that is an 8-day event. The motorcycles are actually being rented for 8 days. So again, epic stuff. I think you'll enjoy it. That is my big announcement that I've been telling you guys. I'm gonna you know, I had an announcement of a trip, and you know, I think you guys just need to watch. If you are not subscribed to this channel, I think you need to do that now, so that you don't miss any of those videos. And anyway, let me show you what I have to do on this here bike, and we'll get with it. Well, I tell you, it's a beautiful day here in Virginia Beach, in southeast Virginia. It is 60 degrees. Last time I checked, it may be a little bit more. Let's see what we got for temperature. I'm gonna tell you right now, it is exactly 61 degrees. And if you stand in the sun, feels like 70. But so here's the issue I have. I think you can see the color difference there, right? That's copper, and then that's the chrome. So the chrome was peeling off for no apparent reason. You can actually see, I can see a color difference right there, like there was a bubble, and there's actually bubbles here too that can be seen. Now, this is a prime company, if you will, for Harley Davidson motorcycle parts. So what I don't have is, I don't have a hex or Allen or whatever to fit that. But what I do have is this bolt, and this bolt fits in there pretty good. So I took that bolt and I put 2 nuts in it, 2 nuts on it, so that one of them acts as a locking nut. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spin this one backwards towards me. This way would be to loosen, and that should do the trick. Let's see what happens. I'm not sure if you guys know what my impact wrench is, but this is my impact wrench. I don't think you can get a good view from there. Let's see there. Yep, and that's all it took. That's all she took. Loosened. All I gotta do is take that out, push the axle through, and the wheel will drop. So I got the whole front of the fairing off of what's called a bat wing. It's a process. Had to take the little panel right there off, had to take the lock switch off, put it back in place. I like to put things back, so when it's time to put everything back together, mentally it's ready to go. Now if you have a Batwing motorcycle and you have the Sony XAV 7000, this is what is recommended to do, is cover this in plastic, because even though this radio is waterproof, the face of it, if you get water in the unit itself towards the back, it will void the warranty. So there's actually a company that sells a wrap for it. My thing is the radio then can't breathe, especially in the summertime. You know, it's 98 degrees outside, you're in the blazing sun, the radio is on, all that heat, or you're in traffic, which makes more heat. I don't think the radio would like that. So what's recommended is to put this plastic. There's actually a company out there that sells, believe it or not, how simple can it be? They sell a plastic cut to size. I just made my own, and I duct taped it. It works. I've ridden in the rain and it doesn't get wet. So that's where I'm at. So now what I have to do is, I've already loosened the clamps that hold the fork tubes here, and on top on Harley Davidsons, for those of you guys that are not into Harley Davidson, these here are the caps. You have to take those caps off and then the fork will drop. So that's pretty much it. Take the wheel off, take that bolt off there, take the top one off, and the fork will drop. And then what I have to do is disassemble the fork, which I've done various times. Now I will say this has the Öhlins cartridges. I have never done an Öhlins cartridge because the guy that did my engine work, I didn't want to bring the bike home and have to do all that work, so I just dropped that off and had him do it. So I was ready to ride when I got the bike. But that's where I'm at right now. Okay, so this is day 2. Yesterday I put in about, I want to say 45 minutes taking all of this off. And today I want to take off I have to take off the wheel, take off the fender, drain the fluid, and then unbolt the fork from underneath, which is the cartridge, actually the Öhlins cartridge. There's a either Allen or Hex under there. What do you call it? A Torx. And that is it. Once I pull these puppies off, I'm done. Now I'll have the fork tubes still on the bike, and they're gonna stay there. I'm gonna put a pail there to catch any residual oil, and that is it. So hopefully I can get this done in about 30 minutes. So as you know, I took the bat wing off yesterday, took the switch out, took the brakes off. I mean, it all seems and sounds very simple. It's just time consuming, making sure you're doing everything correctly. Took the calipers, removed the calipers. And that is it. So today's a beautiful day. Today is January 2nd, and let's get with it. Well, I got the fork legs off, which are these items here. And lo and behold, FedEx does not work today. So much for leaving everything at the last minute. Yesterday was New Year's. They didn't work yesterday either. So, you know, I like living on the edge, I guess. Well, we have come to the end of the video here. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said about our trip to California, don't forget to subscribe. If you want to see, if you want to learn things about touring. I think everybody, you know, there's guys who are, there's so many avenues of motorcycling, and there's so many, you know, if you look at the different types of competitions, races that there are, you know, you have enduro, you have drag racing, you have road racing, you have dirt bikes, you have, what do they call those guys that do crazy maneuvers? I can't even think right now. But there's so many different types of racing. I can't count them on both hands. So with that being said, you know, there's different enthusiasts that we have as citizens, as individuals who are not into competition, but things that we enjoy. You know, there are people who enjoy enduro. There are people who enjoy sand, riding the dunes. There are people who love touring. There are people who, so on and so forth, right? So I believe that everybody at one point or another will get into the touring aspect of it, because I know when I was younger and we were raising kids, my wife and I didn't have the time. I couldn't get away from the family for, you know, an extended period of time like I could now. So I think it's really advantageous to you all to learn the different things and just to see, you know, what's on the other side. I think it's going to be an awesome trip. So my point is, consider subscribing so that you don't miss those videos. As a matter of fact, today we have a meeting of the guys that are going to be going so that we could get our ducks in a row. And we're going to talk about all the different things that we need to have ready, because we are 2 months away. It's actually the 28th of February that we are traveling. So, with that being said, Happy New Year to you all. Today's January 2nd. I wish you and your families many blessings. May God bless you all, take care of you, watch over you. I wish you many miles and many smiles on your motorcycles. And with that, I depart this video. God bless you guys. Take care. Watch out with the crazy people on the road. And I will catch you on the next one. Adios.